Hey, what's up YouTube? Here is David or DB. Welcome back again to yet another video. Welcome to I watched Vinland Saga Season 1 in 2023, and this is the first episode in the series where I am doing a very specific season, and not essentially everything I watch until, just I'm doing a very specific season. Simply because I only watched the first season literally last night. So I watched the first season last night, and I want to make a video about it because this is currently, and I hope I will not regret saying this later, one of the best animes that I have ever watched. From from story writing, from characters. They have a lot of very serious and epic moments in the story. So this is a historical action Viking type anime. It's very funny. It's also very serious at moments. I genuinely am in love with this anime. So I hope after I watch season 2 and I make my next video, it's not like, oh, this is the biggest pile of shit I ever watched. I hope it's gonna be still as good as I'm gonna make it up to be in today's episode. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Sit back, relax, and just let me ramble on. Let me just talk about the anime. Let me talk about what I liked or what I disliked, and let's get started with it. So first of all, the instant fact that it's a historical anime for me is like not a game changer, but I'm gonna like it a little bit more, and specifically because it's Viking. I really like Vikings. If you haven't noticed on my channel, I play a game called Schmite. Wink wink, maybe you didn't notice, but that's like the main game. That's literally my like bread and butter when it comes to the channel. I love anything to do with pantheons, mythology, so having a Viking set anime and including things like Odin and the old myths, things like that throughout the series, Jormungandr in the first episode, it's cool in my opinion. It's instantly like plus 10 cool points even without starting the anime. So maybe that's a little bit biased on my end, if I'm gonna be honest. And for people who don't believe me when it comes to that stuff, for example, we have Mythos of Greek by Stephen Fry and by Neil Gaiman, or Gaiman, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Norse mythology, absolutely love it. I also have the Japanese Mythos book somewhere there. I'm not gonna be looking for it right now, but anyhow. Okay, we start off the anime with a very nice flashback of Thor's in his glory days, in his prime days, basically being an absolute badass in Chad, but then later realizing this isn't the life he wants. This isn't what he is dreaming of. This isn't glory. This isn't what a warrior is meant to be. And he realizes that, fakes his own death. I probably should have said this beforehand, but I don't care. If you're watching this series, just expect spoilers. This is gonna be the last time I'm gonna say it. People might hate me for future episodes, but I don't care. This is my style of doing content. Tough shit. So he fakes his own death and goes away to Iceland and hides away with his family. Okay, then we get the present day of what's happening in Iceland. Very peaceful, very chill, very proper, not country, well, for Viking country lifestyle, I guess. Very primitive, if you wish. They're away from big cities and things like that, but they're enjoying life. Everything's peaceful, everything is chill, everything is relaxed, until Floki shows up. Floki gets a wind that Thors is still alive. He eventually finds him, tracks him down, and demands, says, you have no choice, you need to come fight with us. If you don't come fight with us, because he's such a great warrior, but obviously that's why he's demanding him, we will essentially just murder your entire village and family, and we're gonna keep sending troops, and you will never have a peaceful life again. That's essentially what he says to him. So Thors agrees for the sake of agreeing, and he brings a few men on the boat with him to the war, basically. But his plan this whole time was to stop in a midway point, like in a village, and just have all those men that he brought from the village sent them back to the island, because he just needed them for like to show face basically, that and to help him row the boat simply until that point, and then he would have gotten other men to help him row the boat from that point on. So again, being his heroic self, he wanted to save those young stupid idiots from war. And then what happens? And that midway ambush, we learn that Floki actually betrays Thors, and this whole thing wasn't actually for him to come and fight. It was just a way for Floki to get him out of Iceland and to hire people to kill Thors when he is by himself. That's when Askeladd comes in, and he basically gets paid to kill Thors. So eventually, after Thors like basically destroy his whole crew, Askeladd, without killing anyone, he just beats them up basically. He challenges Askeladd to 1v1 for the safety of his family, blah blah blah, because they had like archers above them. So all this time, even though Thors was winning, he was in a losing situation, because eventually he would have just signaled them to shoot everyone and anyone. So he challenged Askeladd for a 1v1, and the way they worded, Thors wins, gets his wish that his family goes safe, but either way he dies, because that's the ultimate reason why Askeladd was there, for to kill him. So Askeladd kills Thors right in front of his sword Thorfinn. Thorfinn managed to sneak onto the boat. He wasn't originally allowed on the boat, but he managed to sneak his way onto the boat and he watches his father die in front of him. And here's where the writing gets amazing. They let go of Thor's family and friends, go back to Iceland, go back home. But Thorfinn, the child, sneaks onto Askeladd's boat and tries to kill him, basically. But in a proper duel, he doesn't want to sneak attack him, sneak kill him. He's very honorable. He's a warrior like his father, basically. And that's how the story begins. And for the rest of the show, basically, Thorfinn is growing up underneath Askeladd with the entire goal of killing him in a proper duel. Every time he challenges him, every time he thinks he's ready, he loses, unfortunately. And they keep basically fighting until the end. And at the end, there's that whole political thing. I won't maybe spoil too much. I don't want this to be a recap, but I'm giving you guys the brief story basically. And at the end, basically, there's a small recap of their little fight, but ultimately Thorfinn doesn't kill Askeladd. Askeladd gets killed in a political dispute at the end, which I'm really eager to see what Thorfinn will be like in season 2, because his whole life's goal essentially is gone. He never achieved his purpose or his goal. His mentor figure slash biggest rival slash the person he wants to kill just died in front of him, so what the fuck does he do now? We'll find out. Anyhow, so what do I love about the show without going any more about the thing? The comedy. So let's try what's his name again? Fuck. I'm looking here. Not Floki. Will I really not see the... He's not here. Thorkel, there he is. Thorkel is beyond funny. He's like one of the strongest characters there, but one of the funniest characters there. He's super funny, super cool, super badass. Love him. Same thing with Askeladd. Actually, he's actually a little bit funny with some of the things he does. The scene of him on the ship, just like marching with his man, like commanding his man to fucking march towards that castle, and he's on the boat, but they're on land, was pretty badass, I think. Once you have a drink. Good coffee. Was pretty badass. I like how the whole story, you have your main plot, Thorfinn trying to kill Askeladd, but eventually things start building up, things start adding up. When Thorkel appears, he gets information about, if Thorfinn gets more information about his father, Askeladd gives him more information about his father along the way. We learn more about Askeladd's descendants, why he's so important in the storyline. Like Ragnar shows up at some point of the story with Canute, basically. Canute the prince, blah 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 blah. Again, my point here is you have the main timeline, but everything just keeps adding. There's no like branching, mini series, mini things. It's always focusing on the one goal, just adding more and more and more, which I think is really nice. This is something that I think My Hero Academia kind of struggles with, because My Hero Academia feels like you have your main story of Deku versus Shigaraki, but it always is going like this. This happens here, then this happens here, but then this happens here. It's not always like we're heading there. This story is entirely for the first season. You don't hear anything but I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you. That's literally what you hear nearly every single episode, which I think is fairly nice and fairly refreshing from like watching so many animes that kind of have side stories here and there. Same thing with like any 12 episode anime slice of life that I've recently watched. There's always like a festival arc here, this arc here, this arc here. Not that there's no arcs in the show. There is arcs. You have different stages of the anime, but it just feels more driven and more focused on the like ultimate goal. Again, just an example to give you to compare something. One Piece currently is in the state that like we know the ultimate goal for Luffy is to find the One Piece and be the king of the pirates. But he's kind of taking his time doing it. Literally. It's from a writing perspective, which is good for people for longevity. But when the fuck will he get the One Piece? In 3 years? 4 years? 5 years? We don't even know, will he get the One Piece? But this is what I'm trying to get at, that's just my point. Cool. So I like that. The whole political aspect of the show, Askeladd and the King of Denmark had like a little like L/light moment when they tried to outsmart each other diplomatically and politically, which I think was pretty cool at the end as well. I like the show's violence for sure. In general, animes that show violence I think is really how would I describe it? I don't want to just say badass. I want to say it's not even more challenging. It's more pushing the boundaries when it comes to anime, which I really like, because I like more serious stories. This is why, for example, this is a bad example because of the name Professor Onizuka, for example, great teacher Onizuka. It's a comedy show, but it has very serious toppings for a few of the episodes, and actually for a lot of the episodes. And just Onizuka's way of living is like an actual struggle for him, basically, because he keeps losing his job, he keeps blah blah blah, he keeps being like downhill. He's trying to reform. So this is why I like when animes have some like actual seriousness to them. And this is obviously about losing your father. Being not orphaned. He's not an orphan, but basically pursuing this path that basically made him an orphan, and he didn't know who to look up to, who grew up to, and the only person that he ever thought about was the person he wants to kill, which kind of Thorfinn eventually grew a little bit of admiration for Askeladd. Even though he didn't say it himself, we can feel that relationship that he's not looking up to Askeladd. Maybe he's looking up to Askeladd. I don't know, maybe some more of this will be touched on in season 2, maybe I don't know anything yet. But from just watching it, it kind of felt they had that relationship. Same thing with Thorfinn and Askeladd's right-hand man. They kind of had like a better relationship by the end of the series, I think. With Bjorn, for example. Okay. What else is pretty cool? Sorry about that. About this anime that I really like. Art style wise, it's a... Actually, I don't know. I need to Google this. I might be wrong. Vinland Saga. Is this a Netflix exclusive? Netflix exclusive. It is a purely Netflix on Vinland Saga. Dubbing rights. Oh, dubbing rights. Okay, because I wasn't sure if I can find it on any other platform. So it is a Netflix exclusive. So okay, so it has that generic Netflix art style. I think Netflix anime in general that are exclusive to Netflix have that specific art style. I don't know why it just feels like it. Basically, no, I'm not saying it's identical to like every other Netflix exclusive anime, but it just, I don't know what about this anime. Same thing with Super Crux, same thing with, what was the fucking other show? I don't remember. It just feels Netflixy. That's like the only criticism I have. It feels very, very Western. Well, it has to feel Western because it's an anime of Vikings, but it feels very Western for an anime. It feels ridiculous Western for an anime. If I'm actually gonna be honest, not even ignoring just the theme of the show, just the way it's written. There's like barely any Japanese fucking anything about the show. Cool. Anyhow, like I said, this is one of my favorite animes of all time. Currently, for sure, easily 9 or 10. Currently, I have a 9 on my anime list. I'm gonna be doing a few more newer animes that I watched like literally the past week. So hopefully, you guys will stay tuned for that and enjoy those too. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. It was your boy DB. Peace out and goodbye.